Okay, Jim Matthews, August 1996, about the time of my 36th birthday. I get what's called a tumor in my chest. How I found it out, I had shoulder pain for 6 months in my right shoulder. And in reality, it was a tumor in my chest. It was a grapefruit-sized tumor. I suppose that the oncologist that I talked to told me I may have had it for 3 to 5 years. I don't know how I got it. I suspect it could have been I acquired it from a chemical, whether it's pesticides. My own personal research is that certainly there's a lot of airborne things that we have in our environment, and who knows exactly how something like that happens. All I know is I got it, and I had shoulder pain for 6 months. I was trying to have that worked on by an orthopedic guy, and before it got really bad and I said I needed to go in for surgery, I was ready to go in. He had no blood test, no nothing. The Jersey guy, one of the really highly acclaimed doctors in my area, because I'm right in the heart of Jersey here, about halfway between, closer to New York than Philly, but about halfway between us. And it turned out that it was a tumor pushing against a nerve, and this tumor was in my chest, and I had to have it operated on. And my daughter was 4 months old, and Tara, unbeknownst to me, I sat there, went through the operation. My wife Laura and my 4-month-old baby. My mom came up. My sister was an RN. My family stood behind me. I think that's one of the greatest assets that you have as a patient, is family, as well as finding survivors, which I did at the National Leiomyosarcoma Foundation, and there was a hug fest that I went to in the first year, and it was in Lancaster, Pennsylvania. And after I had the surgery, they suggested I go for radiation, but half the guys said yay and half said nay, because it was such a massive area. And I was very worried, but yet I didn't know what to do, you know what I mean? Because the doctor said, you got to do this. And Dr. Robert Ginsburg, who operated on me at Sloan Kettering, said that. But it turned out I put it in the hands of God. I prayed about it. I read a book called The Cancer Battle Plan. In that book, it talked about juicing and all these things dealing with changing your diet, changing your lifestyle. I was healthy. I was somewhat of a runner, an active person. I was 36 years old. But something in that book kind of like took me over, and because I was, basically looking at, immediately my reaction was, wow, anybody who has cancer in my lifetime, you're not going to live very long. And it turned out that I just said, you know what, I'm going to give it a try, and that changed my life, and I firmly believe that it's in the hands of God. The surgeons did a spectacular job at Sloan Kettering. I can't commend them. The two fellows under Dr. Robert Ginsburg and the staff, the nurses, the doctors, they were the best. And I walked away from that, and years started to pile up. And in the beginning I said, oh, I'm hoping to make it to 5 years. And then a 5-year became a 10-year. And then it just got, now it's 20 years. This past summer I celebrated 20-year survival. So people always ask me the pertinent question, like, so now you're going to outlive the cancer, you're cured. And I don't think anyone is ever cured of cancer, but they just come up with this finding that, hey, I can live another day. And I think that's what all cancer survivors share, and that's what we take heed in, the fact that we're just grateful for today. And I think once you have cancer, anyone, whether it's leiomyosarcoma, carcinomas, and any of these, regardless of the cell type and how you got it, how you acquired it, people all look for survival and in medical care, and besides in the fact that giving your life a new, it just changes your life dramatically. And I am blessed today to having all these things and the great medicine that I avail myself to, and the people on the internet and the National Leiomyosarcoma Foundation, and all the Leiomyosarcoma Foundation groups that I belong to, and I avail myself to support them, because they supported me, and but for the grace of God, there go I as the good doctors have always told me. And thanks and blessings for 2017 and in my 21st year. Vaya con Dios, as I say to all my amigos de España, de Hispanoamérica. Ciao.